kodwa angiyiboni uRatha naye uvumela yonke inonsense eyenzekayo phambi kwakhe. Ubuzile umuzi ngesasikhathi 2007 benganayo i-account. Impendulo angiyitholanga lapho. Khona uyitholile?
No, phela uyazi wesiya inkinga la ukuthi these documents were admitted, and I think uMgomezulu asked for time to go and speak to Umuzi about these documents. Truth azange abhekwe kahle, I don't know, because they were admitted. Ngiyayizwa lento eshoyo ukuthi why qhubekwa, but I think Umnisi will have to address it. Let that ngibuzizwe ukuthi Umnisi abanayo i-power to go to the bank themselves and ask for records and then come back, maybe during re-examination, come back and then question with the records abanawo, because this thing was admitted last year by abameli bamuzi. Uyabo. Yeah. I think I have.
Umtshutshisi wayengaphenduli that time ebuza ukuthi benginganalo ikhadi. Akasho ukuthi nale account ivulwe ubani isikhathi sini. Ubuzile umuzi uyizibile ubaloyi, uyizibelani. Ngoba uyasho bafuthi nikhadi engaqala ulivula ngalivula nini.
Ukuthi phela
leselivela livela kanjani? That's any question bekumele imile kwabuzwa kuyo ukuthi why ivulwe nini, ivulwe kweyiphi branch.
uthobalo yes
akaphendulanga why guys yo yabo bantoyi serious kuba bekuthiwa kungabafowethu impela nyani kodwa nyani ke yabo bona hayi shema hayi ngeke hayi
obanya enye into enganyisayo wena Dasiya ne umuzi yakwazi ukusikhulumela ne and ubona even that question yokuthi mina ngifuna ukwazi ukuthi le account le yavula 2007 ivule ubani beka right and beka right asilo kuyo noma ubaloyi bakathi ufuna ukuchubeka uthe nope le yakhe ngavela ya ofremba nayo yayikhipha
andazi nami uthithwe yini andazi nami uthithwe intoni yo ngaflyer ngithi
wayengena ngaphakathi yo Jehova Nkosi yami
kodwa lo mkhulu kodwa shem ibuzo libona izulu kodwa i-experience kodwa ika 55 years le ayenzayo kodwa kule nkantolo.
Mara guys, where can we report the order?
Yabona nayo ye
umuntu makakhuluma akwade uzwe ashaya bo yeses like are you a judge?
Balanama emails to info@judgesmatter, guys. info@judgesmatter.co.za. Send your emails there to complain about Judge Ratha. The more the merrier.
Send me a DM when I'm gonna write an email.
Info.
I have a question.
I have a question. Senzo wakhala washo kodwa but akumnyakazo and hayi guys hayi bo.
No.
Guys,
we can't.
Ngicela ukubuza la, I haven't asked ne. Ukuthi ngisuke ngathola a work call ngaba disturbed. Leyo gcina ya 40 rand. Ubaloyi did not want to disclose to be aware he requested a new bank, because I didn't get that last argument. What was going on there?
He wants Usbia to accept ukuthi kune 40 rand that was done inside the bank. Usbia wants clarity on the which branch was that, or does that mean ukuthi when it says branch ukuthi nobuye kweyiphini Capitec branch izobhala the same thing branch. So he wanted clarity on that. Ubaloyi does not want to explain that for him.
I couldn't hear you. I don't know if it's my network. Can't be mean.
I think
no, uye makaphuma phinda ngene.
Hi guys, it's Noni's network. Sorry, Mashaba, to jump in. Or Fresh Kid, Tasia, no Mama, Ori, I'm observing protocol. I just want to respond to Uhani if Noni is not being heard. I heard as if it's the transaction Yoguye card replacement, 40 Rand. It was charged 40 Rand. It was in the statement, it was no detail on the way it was. Musi had conceded. First time he said he hadn't, but he had conceded to the fact that he got into the bank and did that transaction. But now there was no location of where it was done. That was not included in the statement. But I think my lawyer has that information still. So maybe, I don't know if he redacted it or what, but the information of where it was done was not, but Musi conceded that he went into the bank to do that transfer. Yeah.
Spinky, Spinky, El Cadil Fulukupi, Lelaga Capitec.
In a lady. Yeah.
You can't improve your corner to the Fulio code.
That's my problem, because when you check, remember everything that Baloyi is presenting in court is the bank statement Zaga Muzi, right? But why dates and everything they are wrong, but in the transaction they are correct? Like there's something that doesn't make sense with me. Like normal on printer on your phone, always the same. Why less than Baloyi ziba ups and down? 2019 interpreter it 2019 really. No, sorry. Like what's happening, guys?
Umkulurata yena yazi umkulurata I wish kuba bekuthiwa ngumzukulu wakhe lonto lo amhlalele lapha ngoba ayikho kwalento ayenzayo lapha umkulurata uyakubona lokho akubona kodwa why engathathi action uthi 55 years ihleli lapho kwesasihlalo kodwa inonsense lento ayenza lapha.
Kwathula.
Being certain.
Yeah.
Kwathula.
Iphansi sisazi imimo iphansi. Ibuhlungu, that's a painful thing eyenzekayo.
Uyazi ukuthi into ebuhlungu kimi is behavior kaRatha. I think it's been said, but just to yona le behavior kaRatha ukuthi bona even excella. I think I typed in the comments. So I was saying ukuthi in the comments ukuthi state versus Hepworth. Why sebenza kuyi-state case kuphela ukuthi protect the state ukuthi the judge is not a mere empire mayijampela phakathi. Khathesi akusela mention ka-state versus Hepworth to save anyone. So uyabona ukuthi ujaji kamanga on a fair point. Ujaji uvele usephanga ukuthi kakuphele ngifuna ukugweba. Do you get it? And you can almost see his decision is made ngoba ka-support yonke into objectwayo yena. He supposed to be lawyers that stand up read kwenza abantu ngani they don't think. Lawyers must think. It's as if I think. How do you say that in a public court? Ukukhuluma kanjani konke khonokho?
Angiyakholisa kodwa bazongixolela abanye kodwa uTatuRatha umkhulu ayasidelela la eMzansi usiqhela kakubi ngoba inonsense lento ayenzayo shem ngizoxolisa ukubiza lo magama kodwa even kwa ingane encane uyayibona lento ayenzayo uRatha why enza kanje.
Yeah, that's not okay.
Pinky, Umuzi uvele 1986, right?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, he's 39 this year.
All right, okay.
Yeah, he's 39 this year.
And
Yeah.
when did Umuzi finish matric?
Yeah, it was asking.
Yeah, because if in 2007 he was 20 years old. So meaning
21 years ago.
205 or 204, it might happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, between 204 and 205.
Oh.
So I go, hey, Marana, 07 early, 23. Oh, wow. He was lucky.
There's so many holes. Like, there are 14,000 on that fast. It's a question. Yes.
I think it challenge a corner, just maybe getting back into the meat would it challenge a corner, would partially like my lawyers have accepted it Italian as is. So maso kuqeka phambili bebona ama mistakes unless engenzi application ukuthi kabavumelani lana. Urata njengoba favor iside yabo baloyi uzahamba ngerule ekhona ukuthi if you admitted you admitted. He keep on saying read u220 read u236 ukuthi la kwamukela kunjalo that time usikujane kubeka one by one likhathele lathi we take it as is. So say player on that ukuthi la kuthatha you can't now question it now. Lobo mmuze ebuza ukuthi i-transaction le ivele ngaphi, I didn't do this transaction. You cannot ask uba loy ngoba sokuyi defense case. Not ukuthi ngeke abuze but i-chance yakho nokuthi ask uba loy directly idlulile unless it's an application. You can though bring a witness engazotshengisa ukuthi some of those things are not correct. Not in hard lines, but generally, they accepted it in the States case. They questioned it when it was late, but they said that is right. So we want to make sense. It shocks us. And shows this thing it was cooked, but you took it on like that. We also must, have look at it that way. It makes it easier for the enemy to maneuver now and say,
We are both Pinky. I said on the comments on my phone. You know what I feel? I feel like the state is lying, and Muzina hates himself. And the thing is, now he has to deny. So it's a mixed majama, and all I'm asking myself is that when they went through the did they not?
I'm trying to mute.
Did they not go through it? Umbali doesn't even know about Umbali. Because Umnisi didn't have that one page. But he had the bank statements. Does he even know about Umbali? Did Rams know about Umbali? Did Umgo know about Umbali? We are going to mixed drama.
The way guys, I don't know if it's me. Ngaba wrong, I don't know. The way ngibona ngakhona umbali kahle kahle akusisa chick if ulalela umuzi kahle that time bakazwana nombali kwaba umama wengane yakhe bageza nakithi if you listen to muzi exactly. So akekho umzala angavumela ukuthi igirlfriend izazi ukuthi umuntu unomfazi. It doesn't make sense.
Hey, Kevin Chumi, but manje his wife is
aphiwa amakhadi guys in.
Yes, what if umbali was like what if umuzi ufaka umbali so guys, what if umbali ufake igama laka mbali so and umbali uyena uzosave umuzi because if you check angeke ulahlela igama lomuntu waziyo ukuthi angeke es
and okay,
see those pictures of Mozi? They're not recent. Do you not? It's of the show. His pictures, no Cosca's work. You think that's recent?
Okay.
Remember they took the someone fall off. Even that time, they took they asked for ID. I don't know if the child was going to university, matric. So, that date, the one who comes out on Netflix.
Akusuye umbali na ubani igama lakhe kufanele basitshele.
Inkinga siyikuthi mawuba loyal leader ama-dates lawana okuyathatha the driving test lokuthi kumbe kwaswayipwa ku-driving test ngapha kuswayipwa somewhere else. It's a mess, guys. It's a mess ngoba even if you are denying kuba ngani kumesi to someone who's listening to it, but well, he still has a chance ye-re-examination ukuthi akulungisise lokho.
But Pinky, you know the way mfana ngakhona ne? Ubalo he is hiding after Mgomezulu because he knows ukuthi uMgomezulu angeke ezazomphikisa. Like everything when I saw ukuthi whatever ayikhuluma we pointer under Mgomezulu. And angeke bamphikise because even if bangasukuma obomnisi bathi but Mgomezulu akashongwe bazothi no ushilo. Mgomezulu akekho.
Yeah, true. Fresh kid, please come back. I think ngikhohliwe nje ukuthi ukhona lapha.
Guys, ngicela ukubuza mina why abantu besho ukuthi uMbali is the side chick? Why besho ingathi bayamazi umuzi ushade nobani?
Hayibo, nami ngiyasho.
Ukuthi she's a side chick.
No, mina ukuya ngami I'm thinking uMbali umfazi kwamuzi. That time akangamshadi. Then waba nengane naye wabona ukuthi okay nomuntu lo umuntu engaphilisana naye according the way mina ngibona ngakho.
Mina the reason why ngicabanga ukuthi uyi side chick, not even a side chick, maybe she wasn't a side chick back then. The reason why I think she is because of the way that he referred to her as, because umuzi ushadile and angasho ukuthi ngimnika amakhadami ngoba umfazi wami, but uthe
what if bohlukene nomfazi currently?
No, I could be wrong. Angithi phela assume ububuza ukuthi why. So I'm answering ukuthi why I assumed because he didn't refer to her as umfazi wakhe.
Okay.
And when he was speaking about going home, he referred to ukuthi wabona ba unkosikazi. So for me, listening to him, and I think
the reason ngibuza lento ne isenokwenzeka what if by now umuzi nalo unkosikazi abasekho together isizathu sami sokuthi ngisho it's because when that question was asked about le trip yokuya emakhaya it's Mnisi who made him to say my wife, otherwise he said and then I saw the mother of my children or something, but at first no, what the wife after Mnisi made him, what inkosikazi after Mnisi made him to say so. The initial statement was not umfazi wami, watsho after Mnisi emenzile ethe cacisa, akazange atsho at first maka-responda, azange atsho wathi nomakoti as if ukhuluma ngomakoti wa someone else akathanga umakoti wami. Normally they say umakoti wami, wakhuluma ngomakoti as if ukhuluma ngomka brother wakhe or something. So Mnisi made him to say his wife, zange kube nguye. The other thing is that kwakudala guys ngotya kusenokwenzeka uMbali was a girlfriend and then he met, if uMbali is not the current wife, uMbali wayenaye ngoko waba nengane endala noMbali then got married to someone else. I'm not saying that is the case, I don't know, so we are speculating, but I'm just puzzled by how some of us are so sure that Mbali is the side chick, and she had the cards, was not kind of deserving, etc. The mentality scenario, it's kind of wrong. I don't know, I could be very wrong also, but I correct land. Fine if he's temp, but look, I was in at early 20s that time, guys, also. Oh, lastly, the part about the pictures, they are so old, guys. At that time it was, I remember because a friend of mine did that. As our pictures, if you look at them, chances are ziyafana neziyazenziwayo, people will go and take white wedding pictures and they are always black and white. Those pictures, I suspect in Tekanjal, but I'm not saying that's the case. Anyway, I could be wrong also.
No, there was black and white. There was black and white. Uzovumba.
Amba mashaba wase wastrovela umbali. Anyway, guys, molweni ku YouTube. User, uthini uyuzenda? Akufuni muntu ukuthi unentombi or not. Yeah, like really, it's really. Mbali was Muzi's main. What sane man would give his bank cards to intombi? Exactly. I agree with that. Anyway, guys, I'm waiting for a call. Ne? After that call, we're gonna have our discussion. Papu YouTube, ne? Please, the guys on YouTube, I'm waiting for a call. Once that call comes in, then we're gonna have our full blown conversation. So that's why I'm not having. I'm just playing the TikTok side, so that when that call comes, I mute, I answer, and then we have our conversation. Muzi is full of love. Clarence wena uyancishana ngemali, uyancishana. Zulu guy from Amahlabathini dating a Zim girl. Maybe ubaba kaMbali Moyo ngowasezim. I don't know, but that's the first thing that came to mind ukuthi abo Moyo ngabo Zimbabwe. Mina. Anyway, Darren, why are you doing that when you're looking at us? Why are you hiding, but at the same time you wanna see? Come out.
Hey, my dog.
Sanibonani.
Ninjani?
Yani?
Yaphila. Yazi mina concern yami bafethu, I know ukuthi everyone very is worried about the manner ulo uJudge Ratha abehave ngayo, but manje is worse on everything. Is worse. Ufakaza nento angayazi.
Okay, that's a salute.
Like, it's worse.
Okay.
So I think kule issue yale ma transaction la we Capitec, the only mistake that could have happened, you admit evidence from the start, and I think lawyers were not aware about the date. Were not aware about it, and I think it's not wrong not to dispute the evidence which have been led by state up until a witness had to stand and say, I know nothing about this, despite the fact that okay, these documents, because state is I'm a lawyer by doing what, bringing in the bundles of evidence. And there was the rush time whereby Omnis was given a certain period of time to go and deal with the issue. Of which I don't think it was gonna able to identify lama mistake or law, because on the other hand, it's dealing with the evidence and a certain period of time of which unikwe limitation ukuthi ne masifika nini uzozolwa ukuthi yasiyabuyela phela nayi lapho is under pressure. It's under pressure. So those mistakes, it doesn't mean ukuthi ne angeke khona ukuphikeke ukuthi ne no. Lento lena umuza akavumelani nayo le statement, especially lesesivele namhlanje. You still have got a chance yokuthi ne banga yenze application to verify if indeed Muzi akusu umuntu la kulesi statement lesiyana ovule leya account. And I'm so happy because he was asking a very specific question when it comes to the question from Ubalo Magati now uke washintsha card la athi why ingasho kanje ingasho ukuthi ne which branch or ma ushintshe eCape Town vele yibhala kanjena na, and that question izovalwa ile ukuthi you are not allowed to ask a question because you're a witness, now you have to answer the question based on what was in. So it's something like now we have got a job. You would see when the application to verify what umuzi wayivula in your account. If we let's say as he said, wayivula nini kanjalo. Then the other thing is osala state ukuthi nayibona le enye le bayithole kanjani. So comes to the issue ka Mbali. I think Umbali it's existing. I think it's existing because of if Banga exists Umbali and there was no communication between umnisi no Swiya bazomtshela ukuthi no, don't keep on mentioning him because angeke sikhona ukumbiza. It's just they won't disclose it right now. It's they such a busy everything because they said even before that we are not able to disclose our witnesses for the sake of their safety. So I think le gama la Mbali lifika just because they will call her to come in and testify to confirm the fact ukuthi Amakat and the other transactions that appeared in the statement, indeed, it doesn't matter anymore at that moment and now she but I'm pretty sure right now just because they will able to get her so that she can come as a witness in defense. That's what I think. And I strongly believe on that. Umbali is available somewhere else. That's what I believe. So that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, thanks, Prof. And thank you very much. I think you engage on just one question, nje. Ukuthi if Muzi, since he considered ukuthi eventually ukuthi Meyiwa wangena bank wayenza card change, do you think it would make a difference if they had indicated? Because I'm sure Baloyi has where the change was done. Ulama form lawana from the bank wherever was being signed. Do you think if they ask Umuzi, where did you do it? Umuzi would know. Wouldn't he say, I know ngakwenzela la, so so why is Muzi rather asking that it's not there rather than saying where he is? I think he must just say where he did it and say if it's I remember I did it where. I look more honest. It's as if in case we go favor when you are going to say a different places, I think I changed from one Nongom. You should just be straightforward. I changed it where he began by saying he never did the change. He never did the change at all. Then towards the end, ever says it right, I agree. I went in, I changed. But it's not written where I changed there. So Umelela have a careful language. Then they demonstrate Ubaloyi have a detail over the entire record. They have it, including using to sign up. They have that. So I don't know. I'm talking. Okay.
On that one thing, I think Muzi was right. Baloyi wanted to trick him to make it seem like because there was a transaction or deposit in Phosphorus, it means the change of a card also was done in Phosphorus. That's the question which Muzi had a problem with. That's why he replied the way he replied. Not necessarily that he was trying to run away from the question. That's how I understood it. Because Baloyi wanted to trick him there to agree that yes, the change of card actually happened in Phosphorus. So Muzi is saying, you can't say that to me because it's not written there that if you open account in Phosphorus, that means you did change of card in Phosphorus. That's how I understood him. I understood him that way.
No, correct, Meyiwa. Thanks.
Yes, even Zoro on the panel.
Can I also ask about here, guys? I don't know. I'm a 50,000 lawa money nganga Muzi wathatha kanti umuzi bekahola malini guys
Let
not
he was using the account for also.
But what was the use of?
No, but it was the Standard Bank account. Yama 50,000. And it's for insurance. Insurance, yeah.
Zoro, understand? What I'm saying is, why was Baloyi reading all those things? Because it doesn't even say it's a deposit from whoever who was in Vosloras or something. It doesn't say anything about that. Why was he reading that? He wanted to paint Muzi as someone who's owed you or what? Because that thing doesn't. Because you pressed something, and
I'm sorry.
Noni, I don't hear anything from this side. I don't know whether it's myself or not. Or let me remove the headsets. But I cannot hear. Do you hear me that side? Hello? Hello? Oh, it's on speakerphone. Yes, now I can.
What's up, everybody? What's up, Noni? What's up, my brother?
Good.
Okay.
Where's Noni? I've been saying talk, but I don't hear Noni saying anything.
To be honest, I can't hear Noni either. I'm just seeing he's probably on mute or something.
Yeah, maybe she's on mute.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
So talk to me. What do you think about what happened about what we saw so far today?
But then I'm so disappointed with the defense, you know.
Right. They
You
didn't
know, the
object to
time
it.
when the objection was never tied like the way I normally is. You know, when Muzi was asking a question, where do you get that document? The Home Affairs one.
Right.
You remember Baloi messed the Home Affairs address and the Home Affairs from the Standard Bank. And then Muzi said, hold on right there. Where do you get that Home Affairs document? And how and when is it presented in this court?
Is that the
And
same
Baloi,
one?
come again.
No, continue. Sorry.
And Baloi just gave Moses just continue with his story of let's go to transactions. He ignored him actually.
Right.
And Baloi just sit down. I mean, Munisi, just sit down.
Was that from the same transactions that Beloy said that started? I mean, was that the same account that Beloy said started from 2007?
2000, no, the one that says it started from 2008, the Standard Bank one, because he said you were arguing that you don't know about the addresses and everything, but here is the Home Affairs documents with your name and your full details. So it matches the details in the bank account, in the banking details. Then Muzi asked, where do you get the Home Affairs things? Because you are dealing with banks.
Right.
So instead of Mnisi capitalizing on it, he sit down.
You know what I think? On that point alone, there was a few times where Muzi was able to articulate um, very big contradictions in the state's questioning. So I think this was one of those times when Nisi was allowing Musi to expose Beloy himself to show that no, I don't have to stand up for this one. But I think that's my only theory for the reason why he wouldn't continue that line.
You mean it was part of his strategy?
It shouldn't be a constant strategy. I can see for some of those things to let Musi show the judge and everybody, that I'm not stupid, and and this is clearly, it's not prima facie as you're saying. It's a prima facie of cooking, if anything. But I think Anisi should be more engaged and let the objections be on the record like he was doing the other day.
And you know what is the strangest thing to me in this case? You've got a girlfriend. I've got a girlfriend.
Right. I can
Are we
see.
still together?
Uh,
Am I?
I'm sorry, brother.
Am I still there?
Yeah, you're still here. I'm sorry. I hear you.
So my strangest thing here is, if I've got a girlfriend and I've been honest to her, giving her my cards and everything, I would use them without a fear. I will give her to do anything without a fear, even if I'm going to Polokwane or even if I'm going to Cape Town. Yes, as he said, I will have no fear to use those cards of mine. I'm not a predictor to know that in December 2026 someone will die,
Right.
and I'll have to account on it, because what is happening there now, Muzi is accounting on something that he don't know what is it. Because if you see from 2007, Senzo died 2014. From 2007 and 8, how Muzi will know that I must never use my card in Joburg because Senzo will die?
Hi guys, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
Tony.
we hear you now.
Okay, I had to switch off the phone and come back. Okay, I'm glad for StreamYard because I can switch off my phone. Still, you guys are here. Oh my god.
Technology.
Yeah, nice. Anyway,
Yes.
continue. I'm sorry. I just wanted to see if you guys can hear me.
No, thanks, Noni.
Yeah.
All right.
What I'm saying to my brother here is that from 2007, 8 until let us not count 2014. Let's count just 2013. It means, according to Baloyi, Muzi's life has to stop, and Muzi has to predict that I must never use my cards around First Loras and Joburg, because in 2014, 26 October, Senzo will get killed, and I will have to account for it.
Right.
That is what is happening in court now.
See, what Beloy is doing is like
Yes.
a tricky. You have to be very sharp to pick up what he's doing, because let me tell you something. This is what Imnisi's not doing. He should rise and object to say, "There's nothing." Listen, Muzi has a right, even if those are him. It's July 2014. He has a right to to of freedom to go anywhere and use anything, whether it was him or his spouse or anybody. He has a right and freedom to go anywhere and to use those transactions. So guess what? It doesn't implicate him in anything, because still, reading line for line, these transactions in year 2014 does not implicate Musi in the murder of something that happened in October.
26 October. Yes.
Right. So we shouldn't hear, oh, the transaction from this card. Where were you? What did you do? Who was it, you or somebody else? It means nothing, and we shouldn't hear those questions as if it purports him to be guilty. He has the freedom, even if he was in that town I don't know, in the same month, the same week, you still have to put him there in, I don't know if you get what I'm saying,
Exactly my point. And now, yeah, it is clear. It is very, very clear with the judge that is biased because he was supposed to stop uh, 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 Baloy to say this is irrelevant. Because that one, even me, I'm not a lawyer. You are not a lawyer. You are not a judge. But this, the irrelevancy part of this, you can see it. Even a primary guy or a high school guy will tell you about this. No, this is irrelevant.
Yeah, and I think before the issue of the home affairs, because I was replaying something real quick into something else. When Musi brought the issue of he didn't have that account in 2007, he only had in 2008, and then the judge says, "Okay, it's fine." Um, Advocate Nisi rightfully stood up and objected, right? And then he asked Beloy to read from something. It was this is what I was doing. I was going back and I missed the home affairs one to hear this part again. It was the proof of it was the proof of like accounts and records and documentation, whatever. I forget. I wrote it so sloppy, but it was that section, 236, I believe,
220.
right? No, right. I'm gonna get there. It was 236.
Okay.
Subsection, right, subsection one. That one in particular, it has to meet the requirements of a person making an affidavit of, of what he's reading. So far for the last, however, he's been reading withdrawals, and he even said it himself below that there's just a summary. A summary is not an affidavit, and an affidavit has to be certified by somebody. So when he read 236, what was it? Subsection 2. This is when Beloy started to
220.
sweat. No. I'm getting there
From
still.
there.
I'm getting there
Okay.
still.
Okay.
Yeah. This is when Beloy was trying to read past this part because it 236 subsection 2A, it has to be an affidavit. An affidavit is not a summary. So that part wasn't satisfied, right? B, it had to be examined by the person who is purportedly coming from this bank, like an official, a bank teller or somebody like that. It has to be that document that he's getting all of his transactions from. It must be examined. So C, it has to be compared to a correct copy. That's what I got from the court. I don't know what they mean by that. I guess it just basically has to match. All the copies must match, right? Um, and then when they went to subsection 3, basically you have the right to see the original of all this information, right? But the important part is that it has to come from an affidavit. Beloy did say that, like he mentioned it, that it came from an official, but he said it so fast and so low. I don't believe him. I think he lied just to get that part past the defense. I don't think any official, because he didn't give us a name. He didn't give us a position in the bank. He just said that it was certified by somebody. And then the judge jumped in and offered to Beloy. He basically guided him and he said, "Oh, you're talking about the section 220." That's when he took Beloy to 220, and at that part, everyone should have been paying attention because it felt like the judge was walking Beloy through what to say to get past Mnisi's objection. He was walking him right past it.
And the funny part, after he guided him, Baloy just read one passage that favors them.
Right.
And then never continued. He just read one passage and then he kept quiet. He never even wanted to continue. Because at the first time, where you were saying subsection 2, it was saying the original copies must be handed over.
Right.
So that the accused must be satisfied. And then he said, so to Mr. Munisi, it's up to you when you want us to adjourn. Then the judge quickly jumped in.
Right. The part that Rasa wanted Baloy to read out in that 220 was that the statement or the document, I'm sorry, I didn't say statement, that the information, I'm just going to use the word information, that it could be proffered by a legal person. A legal person can put it up and proffer it as prima facie evidence. That's what the judge was hinting to Baloy. As long as, a legal person, basically infers that it's correct and it's a statement and it's proper and everything, it could be used as evidence and it could and blah blah blah. That's the part that Rata was taking Baloy to in order to have it accepted, because there's nobody who certified anything that he's saying. Muzi already said that wasn't his account. He didn't have that contract. A contract is good until you break the contract or until the contract expires. So which contract are we looking at, from 2007 or 2008?
Because what Muzi is saying, his bank account from Capitec, it must state after 2008, not before.
Right, Capitec.
Because his first account in his life, it is Standard Bank. His first account in his life, as he said, it is Standard Bank, and it was in 2008. Noni?
Yebo ngikhona. Nasinike unef i-chance. Sawubona but unef unjani?
Hey, how are you?
I'm all right. Thank you for asking. You can chip in on the conversation.
Okay. How is it, Dan?
What's up, my brother? I'm good. I hope you're good.
Yeah, I'm okay. I don't see the other brother of mine there. Who is it? I can't see the name properly.
That's France.
Kepile, France.
Oh, Kepile. All right. No, I don't know whether I'm going to repeat myself. I've just come through right now. I don't know what you guys have been discussing, but I like the jab from Mnisi to say, is this case about money laundering? Because I mean, if we are going to be reading statements, every withdrawal, every deposit, and everything, does it show us the 26th of October 2014? Because it doesn't really matter. I mean, if I've got a card and I'm using it in Cape Town and I'm using it in Venda and I'm using it in Eastern Cape, and if that card is not putting me in, even if it puts me in First Loras, the same place that they are repeatedly saying he was withdrawing at the Magic Meat, or is it Magic Meat or whatever the other names they in First Loras. If he's not putting me at the hostel at the time that is alleged, and at the time the incident happened at the Spaza shop, at the Spaza house, it doesn't really matter. Balo is just wasting time, and it's really becoming a bore now. It's boring, to be honest.
The problem is he's colliding with the judge, whether the judge like it or not. Because if it was, if you can reverse the court days, if you can reverse the records, you will hear where he accuses the defense, where he shouts at the defense. He said, "No, you have asked that question many times. Now we are not moving. We are not moving." But he's not doing that with Baloyi. So it simply shows that he's biased.
You know what I didn't understand was the admission, this fact that the whatever spreadsheet they were using and some of the statements which are not really authenticated. He says as long as they are admitted into this court, irrespective of whether they've been authenticated. So in other words, if I pick up a newspaper in the street, I bring it to court, that can serve as evidence without anyone coming to say, this is an authentic, this is the original. They're not even talking about the original there. The reason why they had to remove the other 2 pages, pages 15 and page 18, it is because they were invisible. You can't even see what is in there. Even the doctor himself, who has got some specs, reading specs, I presume, he could not even read what was there. And then that thing is said to be admitted in court. Where is the logic there?
And that's the tactic.
Like he was arguing the date. He said, I never opened the account by 2007. But at least the judge can say, so long as his name, his address, his details is there.
Right. His phone number.
Yeah, but it's taking too long for this exercise, to be honest. It's taking too long. At least if he was telling us about the transactions that were happening in First Flores on that day, we would say maybe he's trying to fish for something there. But if I made a transaction in January, and I made a transaction in September, I made a transaction in July, what has it got to do with the 26th of October, 2014? So you can see that he's simply looking for character assassination. That is only his trump card now. He's trying to say Muzi was lying, that he did not return to Joburg. He said, I mean, because his counsel, Ramsipidi, said when he left Joburg in 2013, he only came back on 2015. But he has tried to clarify that several times. And the fact that, you know, even if you look at this, I have got a wife myself. I give her my card sometimes. I leave it at home and she does some transactions. Some transactions, I only see them on my phone when they report. So it doesn't mean that if my wife goes to, say, to Soweto today and she uses my card and I've got a criminal case going on, then people are going to say I was in Soweto on the 5th of November. It's not that. You need to place me in Soweto, don't place the card. You know, it goes back to, it reminds me of the issue of the cell phone records. You remember when they were using the, Vitillingam, that lady who was coming there. The reason why the state wanted to use the cell phone records, they were trying to put the accused next to the scene, or at least the closest to the scene. You remember that evidence?
But they failed.
Right? No. But listen to this. Now, when the same cell phone records are said to be picked up, they are being picked. The cell phones are being picked up in Joburg. Then they say no, it's not the person. It is the cell phone. But I mean, when it suits them, they want to link the card to the person. They want to link the cell phone to the person. But when it does not, when the record shows the other place other than the place where they want them, then they argue that no, it was in fact, it was Rata, if I remember. It was Rata who was saying it is actually the phone that is being recorded in Joburg, not the person. But all the time when it was being led, that these cell phones were in First Flores, you know, they were in Katlehong, they were in Togoza, it was all fine because it was now closer to the scene. But the moment it takes them away from the scene, it becomes an issue.
You see, my brother, this is clear that allegedly, Rata got something to do with the buying of this case out.
You know, my other brother actually said using the word allegedly will be abusing it. Because this is no longer an allegation. It's clear it's no longer an allegation.
Because the card that is playing is very open. He can show you, I'm going this side. He's no more hiding.
He showed that after 1 week when he started de novo. I was saying to Noni the other day, the first few days when he started, I was really liking him because he seemed, and seemed being the operative word, he seemed to be impartial. Objective. I don't know then what happens the second week. Then the Rata in him actually started showing.
No, they came for him. In that 2 weeks, they came for him.
It's
And they put him.
precisely the reason. It's precisely the reason why he was actually taken from home, where he was relaxing with his grandkids, if he has got any, to come and attend to such a serious issue. When we've got other judges that are very impartial, that could have been allocated only this case. Because that excuse of saying they wanted a judge who could concentrate on this, we've got so many judges who are actually in the states, or rather, who are still employed right now, who could have been taken to say, you know what, you are only focusing on this case. The other cases, you will see them after. But they chose to go for a retired judge. At least if they had gone back for a retired judge who makes sense, people would be happy.
Like that one of Jocelyn, you saw that judge. I don't remember well the name because I was not too much on it.
Is
But
it not Jonathan? Something Jonathan Erasmus, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, look how well he did with the things. And he was not favoring anyone. He was even go as far as interrogating the police. So
Yeah.
everything must be fair and square,
Yeah.
but not with this rat.
He even took a
Yeah.
shot
So,
at Judge
so
Russell.
it means what they are going to go to recess while he's still on the case of Muzi, because this thing is not going to end tomorrow. It's not going to end on Friday.
Yeah.
Which other angle do you think is, after this bank statements? What else do you think he's got that he could actually bring and start re-examining, cross-examining on Muzi? Because I think I did mention to Noni last week. I did mention to Noni when she thought it was coming to an end, and I felt that no. There's still a lot of things that are going to be. I talked about the Mboto,
Guys, actually,
statements.
I don't even think it's about the cross-examination now. Let's all be honest. They are looking for the defense witnesses. That's it. They are looking for them, and the results will show. They will tell. If something happens to anyone who's a defense witness, we will know that is why Baloyi was not finishing. He is not going to stop until they find the defense witnesses. That's it. There is no way. It doesn't make sense, this thing.
Yeah, you are correct. You remember the doctor who died a mysterious death?
Exactly.
Yes.
Do you remember when
and someone almost confessed to say he actually went to look for him?
Yeah, look, Nonine, you are 100% correct, because I think for now the defenders submitted the witnesses list.
No,
so they are busy going.
But they said they were going to keep them anonymous, isn't it? Maybe they. I don't know whether they submitted to the court.
They submitted.
Or to the court.
No, they don't submit them.
Are you sure?
So these witnesses are just going to come anonymously.
No, okay, you are saying to the court. Judge Rata did say that they must submit. Yes, he did.
Yes, but if they are submitted to the court, don't you think? Baloyi has got access to them, the names at least.
That should not be done though, because who knows that compromised.
Yeah, a lot of people.
The old Zungu, the old man. You must remember the hearsay he's in hiding, kept by the defense.
I know that one. Mkwanas is protecting him. I can tell you now. Absalom is going to be protected. You know there's
one at a time. Yeah.
Come again.
Okay, let's give to Franz to speak, and then we'll go to Neff. Then
continue, my brother.
I will close.
Okay, I was saying, you remember when Mkwanas was declaring on the 6th of July, you mentioned that there is a brigadier in Gauteng You didn't mention the name. But what came from that Madlanga commission? I think we can all deduce. Certain names were mentioned there, although probably the people that are mentioned, some of them that are being mentioned, they never appeared. Of course, I know that we made a mistake by assuming that the Mboto that we saw there was the Mboto, because I think even when we looked at the voice was not the same. And I think in KZN, they can never try to do anything. Maybe if they can try to trace when they know when this witness Absalom Zung is going to come to Joburg, maybe only that. But in KZN, they will never, they would dare, they wouldn't dare.
Yeah, all I was saying then is that are you aware that Mukonazi has got an interest in this case? Because this case has got a lot of to do with Sibia. You remember, Noni, the mysterious night that Sibia was the first one to attend at the Spaza house. And it's where he vanished the what you call the evidence. He made them vanished. So he's got a lot of interest on it. It's one of those cases that they are investigating on.
Yeah.
But Francis Sibia says that when he arrived there, the house was clean. It was smelling of pine gel. So everything was already a mess. So he has nothing to say about that because he saw nothing. That's what he said in a nutshell. Anyway, let's give to Dan, guys.
We cannot trust Sibia. Look how nice he caught up with his life for this Ket Molefe with those videos and every proof that they've got behind him.
I'm not saying we are trusting him. I'm just saying what he said. He said when it comes to the Senzo Meyiwa case, he did nothing wrong. That's what he says. But they must call him to the stand and then we'll hear from him when he is being cross-examined.
But you must remember, he was the first police guy to get inside that house.
Yes, he was the first, but was he the only one that was the first?
On the scene.
On that point, though?
He was not the... In fact, he was not the first police. The first police officers were the first ones. Then Abondruf, because I remember the police officers did not mention Sibia. They mentioned Ndlovu when they were on the witness box here in this Rata court.
Yeah,
where's Ndlovu, Noni? Where's the first police?
Ndlovu passed away.
The late one. There's one who is Ndlovu is late.
Yes, the truth one, the one who knows the truth.
Remember, the wife also was unalived.
Yes, as long as we don't have proof of how he died and how his wife, who killed his wife, because his wife, it's a showcase he was killed. But there's nothing we can see. We can only speculate.
But you know the irony, Noni, the irony. She was assassinated in Fort Loras.
And then Noni, you know what I like?
Yes.
The bodyguard of Sibia yesterday, if not today morning, yesterday, he confessed that his 18 cases, people were dying all along the way. That's why his cases were thrown out, because the witnesses, the close witnesses, the one who knows things, were dying all along the way. I don't know if he was listening to himself when he speaks this way. You can play it again on E. That was on E, that channel. I don't know what the name was. He was tiring himself. So even this one, allegedly, this case of Senzo Meyiwa killed both Ndlovu and his wife, because they're the ones they are like this Makubo. Makubo will tell everything, even if they can deny it.
Yeah, let me say something real quick. About Sibia being on the scene. He's not a dumb cop. He's been doing what he's been doing for so long. He's not dumb. These people said to us in the public that Mapiri claimed the scene. There's no reason to believe or not to believe she did, but let's just say Sibia was the first or one of the first people on the scene. He himself could have gave the idea for Kelly to summon anybody she can to come and say they cleaned the scene. Who would ever admit with a straight face that, well, this crime scene has been tampered with? Sorry. Who would admit that? But they're all saying that. That's because that's the end all be all to that question. Because as long as someone can say the crime scene has been tampered with and everything has been changed up, then we don't have enough to speculate about what Sabia did and did not do. Compared to a witness, of course, I'm sure somebody said they saw Sabia do something, but that aside, I'm saying if someone can say, oh well, my Perry cleaned the scene, we don't know if Kelly asked her to do that or if Sabia said, listen, I know a thing or two about crime scenes. It's the same thing when a cop pulls you over, right? And he has to prove you've been drunk driving because it's very serious in this country, right? If you jump out the car and in his face you drink the entire bottle, he can't prove that you were drunk driving. He's just seen you drink the bottle right there. So what I'm trying to say, that's a clever way that even cops know. If you just pin a scene being cleaned up by anybody, then you can't put any involvement of me. Yeah, you can say I was here, but what did I do? The scene was cleaned. So I think that part of my Perry cleaning the scene is something that Sabia as a general can hang his hat on to clear him from any wrongdoing. But that's just my opinion. I think it goes deeper because why would anybody just say, "Yeah, my Perry cleaned the scene," and then they don't summon her? You know why they don't summon her? Because you can't lie. You can't you can't take an oath and lie and say maybe you did clean the scene when you didn't at all. So we don't know why they're saying that she cleaned the scene, but then at the same time they won't summon her. So I think Sabia is very smart when it comes to this cop thing, right? The thing about
Yes.
the witnesses and the witness list, I think, to my understanding, I think Beloit does have sight of the witness list because, in fairness to trials, both sides has to know who's calling who so that they can prepare the questions and whatnot. They believe it or not, it's actually not allowed in many places to just spring a witness and not be able to to know what they're going to allege against you or whatever. And I was holding this coming for a while. The state has a habit of bringing Excel documents, and because the Excel, everyone knows that it can be changed. I could have sworn in any other case they come to court with PDFs because PDFs, they can be enlarged, they can be focused. It's the original document. You can't edit it. No, but the state has a habit in this case in Rota's court to bring Excel documents, which are notoriously known. That program is made to be edited. You're made to do things in Excel, and then what they like to do in court is to pull it right. They pull it right over everyone's head by calling it a summary, an extraction, a this, a that. This is Baloy being cunning. He's calling it these things. Oh, it's the original, but it's a summary of the original. It's a extraction. Yeah, it's an Excel thing or a handwritten thing that was edited. It's not the original because all you have to do is to get a certified copy as a PDF. There's a reason why things come in PDF form because they stay original. But that's just what I wanted to throw in about what the court does. They have a habit in this trial of coming with Excel documents and purporting it as evidence. It's not done.
And what I realized with Malloy and Rata, they are caucusing about this thing. They've got their own caucus. You must look if they break something, maybe some statements, they want to bring the statements through the window. They will always come with a piece of law that they force that piece of law to match what they're doing. Always, you must always trace where we come from with this case. They will always have that piece of law with them. And then Rata will jump and say, no, yeah. You see, Baloy is reading. Come on, Baloy, what are you saying? What are you saying? This guy caucused yesterday, and they know when we come to this line, when they ask us like this, we jump to law.
Yeah.
I agree.
Thank you so much, guys, for coming through and for support. It's been 1 hour 15 minutes. Now it's time to go. We'll do another live tomorrow. I'm at home. We'll do all the lives tomorrow properly. Enjoy your afternoon. Thank you to all the guys that are also on the comment section. I'll see you tomorrow on our morning live. Bye-bye.
No,
Thank
thank you,
Thank you very
Noni.
Thank you
Take
very
care.
much.